Cracking.
Welcome everybody here to finally the playoff point of the D2CL. I'm TobiWan.
And I'm the Capitalist.
And we've been giving you your coverage for the D2CL throughout the group stages, and now here into the playoffs area. Of course, we are actually casting, before we cast the top teams out the group stages, we do second versus third from each of the groups. So, would you believe in those teams? The Alliance is currently sitting here. If they win this, they actually find themselves in a semi-final position going up against Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's a really, really tough position to be in already. Having to face up against VirtusPro, decent team, but man, having to face up against Na'Vi after that would suck.
Yeah, it's not a great thing. But if any team can do it, Alliance will be the team that people would bet their reds on. Of course, they go to Dota 2 Lounge, one of our sponsors for this as well. So the D2CL boys, that is their full roster there, entirely Swedish. And of course, we then have their opponents, VirtusPro, the Russians. Their roster has been updated since this overlay was created, because it's amazing what's happened since the start of the D2CL. But let's actually have a look at some of the players. Just before we kick ourselves straight to the draft, and people watching inside of Dota TV are already watching this kind of stuff. Already watching the game of the draft unfold. We'll get there in just a moment, but just a couple of quick stats. This is all only from the D2CL, so we can look at the mid solos. Now, God versus S4 is always going to be an entertaining matchup, but the stats, well, if you'd lean a little bit, man, you'd say S4 just has, I would say not as much of an advantage, but he's definitely been a bit more of a player coming to the other lanes. 98 assists to the 81 of God.
Honestly, it's been impressive how God has been able to shine within this VirtusPro team. I think he's really been the big playmaker so far. So his performance, rivaling a player like S4 is impressive. So.
Yeah. Of course, then we can look to our supports, NS, the man who left VP and then returned towards VirtusPro, going up against RK, the man who has been the steady rock of Alliance's support, him along with, obviously, EGM. It's been a fun run for both of these support players, and of course, then you've got your other boy in there, and of course, that is Jodam, our new and probably not expected player to come and join VirtusPro.
I think he's done a good job so far for VirtusPro. The games I've been watching, I think that he clicks well with the team, and he even has the versatility to sometimes play offlane for the team if they need it. So.
Let's quickly move through our last players. So we look towards our offlaners. So Art, also known as Smile, playing the offlane now for VirtusPro. Used to be the support man for VirtusPro, and even before that point for Na'Vi. But he's going up against one of known as the best offlaners in the European scene right now, which is Admiral Bulldog, and the man who is going to be holding on to my favorite hero for tonight's game, as we're about to jump ourselves over into the draft, is going to be Illidan. He is going to be playing my magical lady, the Drow Ranger, while Loda looks like he'll be going into the Luna, and we'll be getting ourselves straight into there right now. So almost finished the draft cap, so into the game. Drow Ranger, Ember Spirit, Nyx Assassin, as well as Disruptor here from VirtusPro. So we get Sergey, I assume, will be the Ember Spirit in towards that middle lane up against the DK. And Drow Ranger is just one of Illidan's favorite heroes of late. He's playing it time and time again.
Yeah, so far, I'm not really sure, though, if I really prefer VirtusPro's lineup. I love seeing the Drow Ranger coming back into the fold, but honestly, taking a look at Alliance's lineup, the Dazzle, Bat Rider, with the Luna, and then a mid-Dragonite as well. Even if it is a melee versus melee matchup, the Dragonite should still fare well up against the Ember Spirit, despite that early level of Flame Guard might provide a little harassment. He should do fine there. They've got extremely good team fight, good lockdown, and now two very, very defensive supports, picking up the Dazzle, and now last picking up the Silencer here. Very, very interesting and great lockdown versus a hero like Ember Spirit. Who needs Orchid when you've got a hero that inherently has silences like that?
That is true, man. Like, and he had no other space in their roster to put in one of those Orchid-style heroes, so 100% to go with it, man. But that now means the Dazzle and Silencer, you're not looking at the most amazing playmakers as far as killing goes, where on the other side for VirtusPro, you got Nyx Assassin, you got a Disruptor. We're not even sure 100% that'll be a support Nyx Assassin, but either way, you've still got stuns, you got a lot of control coming out from both Ember Spirit as well as Nyx Assassin, and then Disruptor with his big area of effect control. If he manages to catch that Silencer out instead of a Static Storm, Alliance can find themselves very much on the back foot straight away. At the same time, however, you've got 3 heroes that love their BKB. So Disruptor's going to lose a lot of control. Ember Spirit's going to be on the same front. He's really got to transition into a Desolator and then high points of damage after that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really, really questioning how VirtusPro is, because the way we've seen Drow Ranger, like we don't see any initiation here. We don't really see... This is 2 very, very squishy. I don't think there's a whole lot of synergy between this Ember Spirit and the Drow Ranger. You're not going for ranged here, so that's you're already automatically taking away that. Ember Spirit and Drow Ranger fill a similar role in the fact that they don't fully commit to team fights. They want to be able to sit in the back, get off their pod shots. You know, Ember Spirit mostly just uses Sleight of Fist and waits till people get low before he fully commits to a jump. So who's your main fact? Who's the person sitting in front intercepting all of Alliance's really, really just straight up good team fight? And I have no idea.
It's not Crystal Maiden.
It's not Crystal Maiden.
It's not going to be Disruptor.
It could be Disruptor. Lightning Fence can help you out. That might be able to give you a little bit.
It won't help you out at the end of the day after you have Batrider with Blink Dagger, you have Luna with BKB, and you have Dragon Knight with BKB. All of this kind of stuff will not be able to help you. And getting a combo off when you have Batrider initiating in won't happen, because then you have Global Silence come down on top of you. So when that hits, you've got basically no more joy to be had. So yeah, right now we're definitely seeing a lot of holes in VP's lineup. At the same time, I think we can also say they have a lot of potential with their lineup. If these heroes start to get a good start, some early space, they could really start to snowball.
Yeah,
but it really is, for me, going to depend on what happens with Admiral Bulldog. If they can close him down early on, they delay the Blink Dagger, they delay all forms of initiation for Alliance.
The one good thing you can say about an Ember Spirit here with the Drow Ranger is, as a mid hero, he's very, very aggressive, moves around the map, gets up kills. He will be able to create a lot of room, I feel, for Drow Ranger to pick up that farm and try and get into that BKB. But still, it's I'm not really, as we start going into the mid game, like before we get into the full 5-man team fight of Alliance, I think VirtusPro have a lot of openings here where Ember Spirit will be able to exploit. We have very defensive supports on Alliance, so Ember Spirit can move around the map, try and pick up kills, and he has nothing to really fear when it comes to any sort of counter ganking or anything like that. So I do think this game is going to be entirely reliant on the Ember Spirit and how well he does middle and transitions that and his movement around the map. If he can pick up a couple of kills and start snowballing, okay, then I think VirtusPro have a chance, absolutely. But if this game goes static, if it goes even, Alliance are going to pick up their 5-man team fight. They're going to have a BKB, they're going to have a Blink Dagger up on Batrider, and the ultimate on Silencer is pretty much the 3 big things you need in order to win these team fights and get pickoffs and push down towers really easily.
Well, let's quickly run through our lineup, man, because this is only game number 1. Remember, peoples, it is a best-of-5 single elimination. The loser of this best-of-5 is out of the D2CL and will not have a chance to compete for almost $125,000. Reminder, too, you can buy the ticket from inside the store if you do so. In fact, if we hit $125,000, we actually unlock one of these stretch marks. Don't need a compendium to do stretch marks, but if we hit $125,000, an extra $2K into the prize pool, or roughly that, then we will be looking at a 1v1 solo mid contest with the players to compete selected by the community. So definitely hop yourself over there, and if you don't have a ticket yet, go and buy one and support the D2CL. If we get high enough and crazy enough, then we'll be looking over towards a LAN final selection for Season 3, selected by the community. In the meantime, we can focus on our game. So Sergey as well as S4 are going hammer and tongs here in the middle lane. It's just full over-aggression to try and force S4 out of this lane. The downside is for VP, especially for the Ember Spirit, S4's already finished his bottle.
Yeah, the Dragon Knight always goes for a very, very fast bottle build, and this is why S4 was willing to meet toe-to-toe with God's aggression. He says, you know what, I'm going to get my bottle before you. I'm just going to heal up to full, whereas you, on the other hand, are going to have to rely on your tangos a little bit longer before you get that bottle for yourself. So I like what S4 is doing here. He's fighting up against what should be, I feel that God should be able to come out on top here, but it's not very clear-cut. Most melee versus melee matchups are going to favor the Ember Spirit, but this one, not quite as much, because mainly because Dragon Knight's just so damn tanky and he has that sustained with his bottle so early on that he's going to be able to, it should be pretty much a CS for.
Man, Smile is not having a great time here on the bottom lane.
No.
He is putting through so much. EGM is just having to sacrifice clarities to do what he's doing. And even then, from the high ground, he forces Arsart down. And stealing a haste rune, it's not something he really wanted to do. That is something which you want to put into the bottle of Sergey. So he can be aggressive and attack. But Arsart's at least going to make the most out of it and try and leech some experience from the pool that Arke is working on.
Ooh, good play by Aki there, using that Shadow Wave to clear out the camp, making sure that he knew the Smile was going to try and throw down an Impale and steal some of that CS. So that was a good Shadow Wave, ensuring that he get all of that gold. However, being forced to do that is still really, really bad for those supports because they're pushing out the lane. And Nyx Assassin, he's going to be loving that this basically two waves are going to be coming into his tower.
Yeah, this is some really good experience for him now. The only downside would be is if he gets zoned out again. Remember, Nyx Assassin's got one shared tango on him right now. And with that harassment, which Silencer has already proven that he can do, they may not have a chance. And we've actually seen Loda manage to grab control of this lane back. It's not pushing up.
Surprised. He was able to get in a lot. He was denying way more than I thought he was. He was already bringing the creep wave back into his tower. So this is actually going to hurt. Smile. He's just getting constantly. This is a really good thing about Silencer. He may not be very, very good in tri-lane versus tri-lane scenarios. However, he excels at harassment. It's why you often sometimes see a Silencer being mid support in those few times, because when you get that one level of glaives, as we've seen as Vanscore has taught us, it is actually a lot of extra damage that pretty much makes your harassment unstoppable. Stands toe-to-toe with any hero.
Just to let people know too, if you are watching the live stream, I know the chat's gone a little bit nuts, but then again, that's normal for Dailymotion chat. As far as the live stream goes, yes, we've just been informed there is actually no transcoding options right now on the Dailymotion server, which is the reason why you cannot choose anything else. I have to wait a moment though. S4 is going to get ganked up, and they do have a glimpse at level 2, so they're going to drag S4 back into the fight, but they didn't use it on Arke, who's now going to come in and then put the Shallow Grave on. Sergey's going to stay with him. He's diving very deep under the tower. One last attack from Crystal Maiden was able to reach, but I think Arke, yep, he's going to get a nice injection of levels, with the Ember Spirit now going to go down, but of course DK did end up dying first. So first blood goes the way of VirtusPro. And to finish my announcement, yes, we are aware of the problems. We may be switching at the end of game number 2 to it's the new system, which Dailymotion is still installing. So it's very temporary or temperamental, I think is what I'm really searching for. So we may or may not switch that at the end of this one. If not, try and free up as much bandwidth as possible. You've only got your 720p 50 frames per second option available right now. I apologize for that, but we've only just been informed.
Top tower is under attack.
Really good gank there from VirtusPro. They know they can leave Illidan alone, so the moment they pick up level 3 on Disruptor, that's the big ganking level for a Disruptor. When you have a numbers advantage, that 1000 range glimpse is so good at being able to pick off enemy heroes. So that was a good gank, but Ake did make some recovery there, even though that was still to the favor of VirtusPro, mainly because of that first blood gold. They were able to get some sort of recovery. Right now, though, look at Bulldog. He's already level 5 at 5 minutes in. This is sort of like 5x5 is kind of a saying that goes for junglers. If you can get 5x5, you're doing pretty damn well. And Bulldog is now level 6. So he's halfway to his Blink Dagger. He's looking very good. You compare that to the Nyx Assassin, only level 3.
Yeah. And this is where it's really going to start hurting VP. We talk about like getting a good start, like a snowballing kind of start on their heroes, but Illidan, even at level 6, like once that tier 1 tower goes down the top lane, get a nice injection of money. Arstar's playing a really good game here on the bottom lane too, using that Spike Carapace to harass back EGM after he threw out that attack. But as far as the jungle goes, Admiral Bulldog's just pulling in so much more experience, so much more money, which VP aren't really getting. Like NS has to come back in here, try and do his pulling again. That transition from VP hasn't really hit its perfect mark here in the early game. And they're not finding amazing early kills. Like one kill in the middle lane's good, but Arke hiding in the corner. Arsart, he's going to get silenced up. There goes actually your stun. Arke, he's trying to keep him up. Crystal Maiden has in fact picked up EGM from the rear, while Arsart picks up one in front. But S4 comes in for the solo kill on the Nyx, and they're going to try and catch off Jotum. He is really in no man's land. A Dragon Tail stun will be more than enough into one corner. In fact, going to go into the Dragon form to break free and then to bring down the Crystal Maiden. It's a double kill for S4. The tier 1 tower lost on the top lane for the price of 2 support heroes, but it's S4 getting a double kill.
Yeah, at the same time, we also had the 3 from VirtusPro trying to go on Bulldog, who was trying to defend that tower. However, a really smart play from Bulldog. He was running away. God was kind of forced to use Searing Chains, and the moment that happened, he just teleported away. Bulldog just teleported back to the base. He couldn't save his tower, but he was able to pick up a little bit of experience and dodge the gank, the rotation there from God. So Still, though, Ember Spirit is level 6. We're beginning to get to that kind of dangerous point for an Ember Spirit where he has that maxed out Flame Guard and he has his Fire Remnants. He gets very, very dangerous at this point in time, especially if you do not have Disables to be able to hold him in place, which currently Alliance don't have too
They're going to
much.
have it in a moment, man. Admiral Bulldog just farmed up a triple stack plus a side camp. He's up to 1,800 gold. This Blink Dagger's going to arrive at 9 minutes. And if they can get a gank on Sergey this early on, like with the Breathe Fire, you can see already, like there's a level 4 nuke coming out from the DK, and it drops the Ember Spirit to half of his life points. All you're going to need is one lasso, and you're good to go. That's all you need.
This is how powerful Drought Ranger is. You pick up Agility Treads, right? You grab a Morbid Mask, you can farm Ancients. You can farm Ancients. That's what that hero can do. So they push in the tower fairly early on.
This was the strat we were talking about. Like I remember we referred to it on the games on Saturday from the D2CL, and then you referred to it with the Fnatic game from the other night. And it's always this early damage that can come out from Drought Ranger. Now, we've seen it coupled up with things like a VS, or which means then you can just go Mask of Madness, because you've already got that little extra damage. So you get the Mask of Madness, which lets you attack even faster, so you get more damage per second. In this case, though, they just say screw it anyway. Lifesteal's going to be fine. You may not need anything else then, because that allows you to jungle, allows you to kite, and then you can go into your other things, which you can just sit inside your own jungle. Don't put yourself at risk, especially with the Bat Rider on the field. He's going to be wanting to hunt you. So you take that Drought Ranger into the jungle, finish your drums, finish your Ring of Aquila, and then come out to fight and go, hey, what's up? Not as easy to kill anymore. Then you can finish up your Mask of Madness, and then you can start kiting out heroes a lot better.
Yeah, and that's really where, as the Bat Rider comes into play, so too will Disruptor. Like, Disruptor is supposed to be the big counter to the Bat Rider pickup. He can throw down your Kinetic Field and Static Storm combo to hold the Bat Rider in place, or glimpse
Smile.
him back.
They're going to try and get a kill. Whoa! That's a little bit off target. Nova comes out from Jotum, and then Illidan just pops off. He uses the gust to make sure that no one's coming close, especially Loda. And all it took was basically 4 arrows from Illidan to get that kill.
God moving around. He was thinking about trying to dive Loda there, especially since even though Loda does have his ultimate, you've got that maxed out Flame Guard, which soaks up 500 magic damage. They could go for a dive here with that.
I think they're definitely considering it, man. In comes Sergey. So the Spirit right in behind the tower, right on top of Loda's position too. And Jotum, Nova, they didn't see him properly though. But Loda, if Sergey jumps in this one, maybe with the Eclipse they can burn through him, but he's bottling up and there's a fisting. Goes on Loda, holds him in the corner, disrupt at the perfect time for the ultimate. Loda, he can't get his Eclipse off, which means the stun from Nyx Assassin will keep S4 in fact in position until he gets dragged back out again by the Glimpse. So S4 sent back towards the middle lane to battle up against Illidan, which means this bottom tier 1 tower is toast. VP will take out this bottom tier 1. Yep. And they got the hard carry.
VirtusPro really using this Disruptor very, very well, setting up on a tower, making sure that no one was going to be able to walk in time, and any teleports are screwed by Disruptor. That was a very well executed dive. When normally you look at that kind of situation, it puts you on edge. You're like, I don't know if you can really make that work. But NS had a beautiful play there with the Static Storm stopping the Luna ultimate from going down, and then also the Glimpse back. He pretty much made that fight for VirtusPro. So a free pick off on the Luna, a little bit more control going their way. I think they really got to continue this fighting though. They got to continue to go hard on this and get Drought Ranger. I mean, Drought Ranger has been used pretty aggressively before, but more in push lineups. Here, I want to see it more in a combat-oriented lineup. I want this Drought Ranger to come online and start fighting.
Admiral Bulldog just hit the motherload. Comes in. Is that a triple stack with a couple of Dark Trolls? Nice. That's some easy burn gold. Just shoot up that income. He just hit over 60 CS with that last little bit. We still haven't seen him initiate. That originally was meant to be a gank. It was meant to be just finding one hero, getting slightly greedy, ganking up inside the jungle, more than likely one of the Drought Ranger. But he'll see Jotum here in the mid. 7 seconds until Firefly is up though, so he's not really ready to fight. And it's very, very close in for Jotum. Vendettaing in from around the sidelines. He's not finding any stragglers right now. In fact, he's going to cross himself up the mid, only see one hero, and because of this, VP may feel they can jump onto S4. But they're going to find somebody else. Admiral Bulldog. The Spirit goes up. The stun was wafted by us up, but then he's still with the Smite Carapace. Then they go into something more. The Glimpse, way, pulling Admiral Bulldog back out, cancelling off the lasso. Sergey's copying so much damage. He's also tanking so much at the same time. But Silencer, he was able to get the curse out, and then all of a sudden, they lose the Ember Spirit. Loda can't move up freely. That wall's not making it easy for him, but Jottam, I don't know why they're coming back in for Loda. The Eclipse just tears them apart, especially when they had S4. Able to come in with his little bit of extra damage and slowdown.
You could see, though, how squishy Loda can be. I mean, it was just 2 pot shots coming out from the Drow Ranger, and Loda was really feeling that hurt. So I think if they're using this Gust pretty aggressively, I can see the strength of the Drow Ranger. You just got to really protect her this early on, and got to have a hero like Ember Spirit, who, you know, in this regard, I was talking about earlier how in the mid to late game, Ember Spirit is one of those heroes who sits back in the team fight, uses Sleight of Fist. Like, he doesn't really go in. But when you max out Flame Guard this early, he's actually a very much in-your-face kind of hero because he wants to get that burn on you, and he can tank up a lot of magic damage, which is the primary source of damage right now during the early game. So in that regard, I suppose Ember Spirit is a very, very good up-in-your-face kind of hero that will buy Drow Ranger some room. But that was a pretty messy team fight for them.
What is he buying Drow Ranger room for? I'm looking at Illidan right now with almost 6k gold over on him at the moment. Now, they want to gank up in there with a 3-man smoke moving in from the side. They really seem to want this tier 1 tower down so they can feel secure and going for Roshan is my only logical explanation for the amount of pressure they're applying right now. Oh, they found one. They found Loda into the Vendetta. They're trying to actually glimpse somebody back, but it's actually inside the lane. And it's S4. No Dragon Form. 8 seconds on cooldown. Shadow Grave will keep S4 alive. And now the Global Silence Wall. Admiral Bulldog, he got to latch over onto John. They've got to kill him off very quickly, but the follow-up's done from the Nyx Assassin. Able to get the kill. Then Drow Ranger, just from range, is able to bring down EGM. So they get 2 for the price of a Crystal Maiden. Well worth it for VirtusPro, because they're going to follow up into the tier 1 tower as well.
Going back onto the Drow Ranger, BKB. Like, that is, like, the aggressive item. I know you like, Drow Ranger has innately enough damage, so you don't need a damage item. You could just go for a BKB and just straight up go for these fights very, very early on. I'm surprised how well this is working out for VirtusPro right now. But I kind of like it. I really, really like the way that they have run this draft.
It's a Shadow Blade.
Shadow Blade. Okay, it's either mobility, it's either mobility or it's tank.
It's
so
killing,
he goes for
man.
the mobility.
It's killing. That's all this really is. Drow Ranger will now form a gank squad with the Armor Bug. He is going to go ganking left, right, and center, and it's a slippery little sucker too. What you want to, as Alliance, you really want to start buying up dust and gems for these 2 heroes, because you know you can easily drop them. Drow Ranger, just slightly out of position, that hero will go down. And then you start giving gems over to these heroes, and VP will just start removing your vision from the map. And knowing Alliance, knowing especially Arcade, this guy spends so much money on wards every single game. They just don't want to be put into that kind of a position. So for me, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the Shadow Blade, but it gives Illidan such freedom to go for ganking, or if he wants to, if he feels obliged to, split pushing. Hiding inside the jungle, Batrider jumps in, invits quickly. And you should be able to get yourself away if he doesn't have a gem or dust.
Yeah. This is more of a gank-heavy item pickup for the Drow Ranger. However, you could see the potential here. I mean, I was talking about the Gust earlier. It cripples every single hero on Alliance. Every single one of them is very, very squishy when they're silenced up. So when you don't have the Batrider being able to, you know, Firefly or Sticky Napalm or anything like that, he's ruined. No Shallow Grave, no Luna Ultimate right now. Like, those are big pickups.
Admiral Bulldog jumps in. He got an S this time around, so there's no Glimpse to help control him. With a double TP coming in, the Gust already being used on Loda, down half-life, but then also Nyx Assassin. He's inside the Vendetta, but not being revealed out, but he might have to in a moment. Looking for the stun, that's not quick enough. He couldn't save the Drow Ranger from death, but now the fisting comes in through the rear, but Loda also blows his entire ultimate. He expected Ember Spirit to be on the back of that jump in, but it just doesn't happen. VirtusPro are going to back themselves up. They ended up just losing their Drow Ranger. That's not good in anyone's book, unless you're Arteezy, at which point it's like an essential part. But in this case, VP, if they can get a pick off, they'll go for it. If not, not a problem. They go back to farming.
Yeah, that was a pretty clumsy team fight for them. It started out with you can't have the Disruptor. Like, he is such an essential part of this strategy. He is kind of your counter to Batrider, first of all. But also the Static Storm. Again, these silences are very, very key. However, they're only going to last you so long. Like, once the BKBs are up, this team fight is completely screwed for VirtusPro. So having a small little skirmish like that not go your way is actually much, much worse than it seems on paper, because it just means less time when they're getting these pickoffs. However, they are going to go for S4 at bottom right now. You called it. With the armor bug, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, why not, man? You can get in close, up personal, and S4 can't do anything. He's stuck here, silence. The stick charge will be there. He tried to come in for an extra stun onto Illidan. But this is the power of Drow Ranger. This is why her ultimate is meant to work with heroes at range from her, because she can do that with the gust, with the pushback, with the cold arrows. She is one of the best control heroes inside the game if she gets even a slightly decent start, and that's exactly what she's got. If Illidan's also able to go into the jungle and find, we got Alpha Wolf check time, Satyrs, we've got Ghosts, and we've got an empty camp. Okay, what about Radiant side? We have no Alpha Wolves. Okay, sad Drow Ranger, sad. But if you get an Alpha Wolf into this lineup too, I would hate to think about the DPS that can come out from her. And Illidan's already going in for Roshan as well. Life is a party for Drow Ranger.
It really is. It's so similar to Lycan in many, many different ways, and the way you run drafts around a Lycan is very, very similar to a Drow Ranger. And one of the big perks, just like a Lycan, you can take Roshan really, really easy, and you can do it solo too. So VirtusPro, the rest of them, going bottom, pushing in, forcing attention. Meanwhile, Drow Ranger's going to take it. As long as they don't overly commit to any sort of team fight here, they're going to be fine. And presumably, Alliance are not really looking to get aggressive here, so they aren't really going to be searching for a 5v4. And all of a sudden, they're completely surprised. There goes down Roshan, and we have an Aegis on Drow Ranger. They still need more pickoffs, though, with the Shadow Blade. That was one big pickoff on the Dragonite earlier, and that was great, but we still have yet to see the Shadow Blade turn into anything else. So we need a couple more pickoffs so we can turn this into more tier 2s going down.
For everyone out there, if you do want to have your transcoding options, you'll have to wait a moment because S4 is dying. And again, a perfect Static Storm. Another core hero here of VP that's going to go down. They're trying to glimpse him away. Maybe S4. 70 line points. He moved back into the fight and then ends up getting done out by the Ember Spirit. The Global Silence has slowed down the movements here of VP. But not completely stopped them. They do lose the next assassin. They're about to lose Judgment as well. EGM just sitting perfectly on the high ground as Ember Spirit's running out to the bottom. Remember, he's still got the Spirit back behind him. So either they camp the Spirit, which what EGM and RK are doing back here, but by doing so, they allow God just to run away on this bottom lane. But yes, transcoding options are back, peoples. If this message does get through to you, and not to your friends, then pass the message on. But all you have to do is refresh your page where the live stream is. You're over on join.com, that's just a control F5. Refresh the live stream, start it back up again, and you should have transcoding options. If you're playing the 720p 50 frames per second right now, and it's 100% smooth, you don't need to refresh a single thing. You'll be 100% fine. NS, 4 staff, he needs a vision. He needs a vision of Admiral Bulldog to drag him back, but they don't have any kind of... Well, actually, they do have an Observer Ward. It's just not perfect. Admiral Bulldog, they saw him for a moment. There's a glimpse. They're dragging him back in again. The wall is up in time as well. Admiral Bulldog's locked here, and Illidan just stands his ground and destroys Admiral Bulldog inside the jungle.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of split pushing from the Drow Ranger earlier. He forced both the middle and the top lanes into the tier 2 towers, forcing Alliance to move in, and they had to defend that, so good opportunity. When you split push like that, you are always forcing heroes to spread out usually. And that's exactly what happened to Alliance there. Batrider gets caught out in the jungle. Loda right now is farming up his Ancients, or he was earlier. Right now it's EGM. He's just going to go middle, push this out real quick. But he is farming up his Ancients, try and get that BKB.
And the faster that gets up there, the less that's going to happen with the Disruptor. Then Alliance can move freely. And we talked about that key moment as well for Alliance. They have 3 BKB heroes. Admiral Bulldog's the only one to not get it, and that's because he needs to have the Blink and 4 up first.
Right.
So by having that, he's all good to go. Unfortunately for Admiral Bulldog, he's now going to realize there's an Observer Ward sitting inside the lane as he gets glimpsed down from a very, very long way away from NS.
They need to go for bottom right here. They saw the heroes at top. They need to finish off this tier 2 tower. The time is really ticking for VirtusPro.
They have Drow Ranger. It's so easy to do it. That stun from Arslan, only a microsecond too early to connect on S4.
Yeah, but look how scared they are. They can't even fully commit to that tower.
Yeah.
They have to immediately back up. They have an Aegis, too. It's not like they don't have some defense for their Drow Ranger. Aegis is up. They can feed that away, but it just goes to show how scared they are right now of the Alliance team fight.
Well, why wouldn't you be, man? Like, they got the great initiation and great control. And not to mention, VP hasn't really been having the greatest run of games of late. It hasn't been the worst. Like, the worst would be back, like, maybe 3 months ago with VP when they couldn't even win a nickel in a nickel machine. It was really, really bad for them. And, like, now they get a little bit more confidence, but to go up against Alliance in a best of 5, in a best of 5, if you lose it as well, you're out of the competition. I don't think anyone from VP is sitting here going, you know what, I'm feeling calm about this matchup. They'll be feeling rather apprehensive, in fact. But now with the BKB powering God as well, he's going to feel a lot more confident in this fight, especially considering S4 still hasn't finished it. He's got 2,700 gold sitting on himself right now. I kind of wish he'd just pick up the Mithril Hammer and bring it out. Loader is, in fact, already got the BKB. He's going to the helmet of Donna. There's your drag back. They managed to get the initiation on NS. Wow, that was fast from Admiral Bulldog. And God, he's in the middle of this fight, but jumps out to his spirit. Loader's already triggered off his BKB, but he doesn't have any kind of vision. Sentry Ward goes down, but Smile is still running away. Admiral Bulldog jumps up, tries to napalm and slow him down again. A second Sentry Ward is there in case Arsad is turning for a re-engagement, which unfortunately for Arsad is exactly what he does, but luckily for him, he walks in range of the range creep, so he cops a glaive, so he knows the vision is there now.
Yeah, you could see VirtusPro, once that BKB was down, they thought about it. They're like, maybe we can actually turn and fight. Even though it's 4v5, the Silencer ultimate was down and the BKB was down. All they lost was a Disruptor. I call that a win for VirtusPro because now they're going to turn this into a push. The Dragonite ultimate might be down by then too. That is a series of ultimates that Alliance is really, really relying upon, especially that BKB for Luna. So now they're just going to go in and take this tier 2.
Missed the stun timing. He only just missed the stun timing over on S4. With that kind of follow-up, they may have considered just picking off the DK and moving into something more, but tier 2 towers down the sidelines.
Yep, so a Disruptor for tier 2, a great trade for VirtusPro, and I wonder if they have enough time to go for middle. And I like the fact that Alliance aren't even worrying about bottom.
Look at the move, man. They want to protect this tier 1 tower on top lane. They want to protect their jungle, and they know there's just Loader up here on the top lane with a Shadow Blade.
But he's got
a lot of help, I know, but at the same time, Admiral Bulldog's also going to get caught out of position. And now the question is he try and drag him back in again? Yes, he will. They're going to hold Admiral Bulldog out of this engagement. Even with the CM ultimate, Admiral Bulldog's got nowhere to go. Meanwhile, up in the lane, the Drow Ranger's Aegis model is triggered off. Loader's back to life again. Drow Ranger, there's the Spirit jump through. They even need her to come up to attack. She moves over towards EGM, who then gets pounded by the deeps.
Oh, they have a glimpse. They could get even more. They might even get all 2.
Where's that range? There it is. It's over on Arcade. They pulled him up. The biomass coming out from Luna. And S4, they don't want this to continue any further. But Illidan, he's managed to pick up another one. Then again, it's Ember Spirit who takes the kill. Dragon Telson up. If they can pick up this Drow Ranger, it'll be beautiful. And worth the buyback here from the Luna. Because obviously he can't farm up any creeps. He can only farm the gold from hero kills. All from the towers themselves. S4's coming in deeper. Admiral Bulldog. His Blink Dagger still on cooldown, but Jottam as well as Arsat, they've been locked in here a little bit. The Glimpse again pulling him back. NS will save his own life, but Jottam will lose his inside the lane. As Arsat backs up to his own tier 2 tower. The tower goes down towards Luna. So all this reliable gold still coming the way of Luna even after buyback. It makes it worthwhile now. 14 to 15, but Alliance and VP. I know we were having a discussion before this game, man, saying who's really going to come out on top of this one. I'm like, man, VP, they're not looking bad. I still think this game should be like a 3-1, maybe a 3-2 if we're lucky. But judging by the goal graph right now, it tells you the tale. This is just back and forth between both VP and Alliance. It's advantage, disadvantage, advantage, disadvantage, and then we still end up back at deuce.
Yeah, honestly, with the games that I recently watched, like, I had a lot more faith in VirtusPro. I thought they were looking a lot better over the last month. As a team, I thought they were just really beginning to hit their stride. And then I had my games last night. And honestly, it was a little disappointing watching VirtusPro. I felt like they were kind of floundering, that they lacked focus, that they lacked a direction in their draft. This time, though, I think they're looking a lot better. I mean, the plays that they've been pulling, they didn't react to the buyback of Loda as quickly as they should have. If they had reacted right away, that would have been a great team fight for them. Everybody backs up, we forced out a buyback, etc., etc. Or I know you were watching the Batrider, I was actually watching Loda.
Yep.
They tried to get an impale on Loda out of Vendetta, but Drow Ranger, Illidan made a crucial mistake and attacked once before the stun went out, giving Loda enough time to get the BKB off.
Firefly's up, they're jumping in, they found Sergey. They're going to pull him straight back into the fight, and then with a 5-man gather around for the burst heal and the flame break, that Ember Spirit is down, and now VP have lost one of their big controllers. And this reveals the weakness we were talking about before. They just don't have the buffer. There is no buffer in this game. They'll lose their tier 2 tower. They don't have the ranged DPS to start off the fight either.
Yeah, now the team fight, their only opportunity to win team fights was what I was talking about earlier. You get a surprise stun on one of these heroes, mainly Loda. You get a stun on him and kill him before he can pop his BKB. But other than that, you're not winning these team fights. And I question how VirtusPro are going to be able to win the game if they can't win team fights right now.
Man, I don't have an answer for you on that one.
They don't have enough. They don't have good enough split push.
Yep.
They don't have this really overwhelming late game. Pretty much the Luna DK plus the silencer will be able to end this game before it gets into like 55 minutes and you have a really big Ember and Drow.
S4 might have just hung around just a little bit too long. Silencer does get the last hit on the tower. It's like they want to fight, but Lodic's going to be pulled. Actually, it's S4 being pulled back in again. He's still got BKB available with EGM and Arcade getting stunned up on the side. They both have to trigger their BKBs into the Eclipse and let the Glaives bounce, especially when Illidan was lassoed up instead of his own BKB. He just freshly purchased that one, and already it's got scuff marks. God, silenced up. Loda wants to go in deeper. Arslan able to get the follow-up stun, but S4 back in the front lines. Breathe fire, a little bit off target, but still, with that follow-up stun, they give Loda a triple kill. Arrow Bulldog again, caught up inside this damn Crystal Nova. It's been the bane of his existence. Loda, he's looking for an ultra kill here, but S4 just says, you know, man, you're never going to get here in time. I'll just breathe fire it down, and now Alliance can look to do damage towards this mid. One horrible team fight, and then one disastrous team fight for VirtusPro. And S4's already got the confidence just to walk up into the high ground, into the Frost Dragon form. And then the tier 3 towers, there's no fortification, there's no Ember Spirit, there's no Drow Ranger, and there's no defense for VP.
Yep, VirtusPro tried to use their aggression early on. They got a couple of pickoffs here and there, fought a couple of good fights, and took down some towers, but this is what I was afraid of. They didn't have enough pushing power to end this game fast enough. And now that we have those BKBs up, team fights are a disaster. NS is pretty much useless.
NS, what are you doing, man? EGM, okay, he's going to drag him back in and going to get a kill. With Illidan there, they can actually do that. I thought for a moment NS was about to get himself killed because the Lunar Illusions are even dragging his life points down.
Like, you saw that last big engagement where he threw down, he glimpsed DK back, and Alliance, they could have walked away, right? They could have popped BKB and just walked away and said, no, it's fine. But S4 said, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's take this fight. If they throw Static Storm on me, I'll BKB in turn. And to NS's favor, like, he didn't throw down the Static Storm. He knew what was going to happen. And instead, he tried to throw it behind where the silencer was at. But with no kinetic field to lock in the silencer, he just moves out of the way, pops his ultimate, and then God and everybody else was screwed because they were all silenced up, and there goes all of those big abilities that you need to be able to control Alliance and make sure that they just don't run you over.
Admiral Bulldog has just had the worst timing for his Firefly. He obviously must have been farming up. The illusions are going to come in, but Roshan goes to Dire side. Drow Ranger has the Aegis Immortal again. But with Firefly on cooldown, he didn't really feel the timing to jump in there.
And this is why I wanted to see a BKB up on Drow Ranger. This Shadowblade has not been enough. They got one pickoff.
Yeah.
It was on Dragonite, and that was a good pickoff. It was great, but it wasn't enough. And they didn't have the power to be able to 5-man into towers. And if they had a BKB, maybe they could have.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have. I don't know. But either way, I don't think Shadowblade is a bad idea in general for Drow Ranger. It's just this game, I felt like there was such a time limit that you didn't have the luxury of moving around and ganking.
Look at S4 movement. Dragon form. He suns up Illidan, but they can't control him with that BKB up and running. It just goes on to NS. Stick Charge keep him alive just that little bit longer, but not long enough. And now a jump in as well, and they got Illidan again. Spy Carapace will slow him down, but the Eclipse comes out, and they global silence as well. It just breaks for a moment, and then God, using his BKB obviously to break it, has to buy it back. He loses his life. EGM is dead right now. Arsad jumps out, then the Shallow Grave. support saving supports right now, but only for a short period of time. Almost enough time to try and pick off Illidan, which it will do so. He managed to trigger the Aegis the Immortal out, and that's more than worth it there for a VP. More than worth it. They force a buyback from an Ember Spirit and pick off 2 heroes. Yeah, and the Aegis Immortal, obviously.
I do want to give a shout out to the Nyx Assassin for his blink in. He was going to stun Silencer, but then he saw the Dazzle coming in. That was such a fast reaction. He threw down the Impale trying to stun up Dazzle to make sure the Shallow Grave didn't hit. It was a really, really good, fast reaction from him. It was just a shame that it was a half a second too late. And because of that Shallow Grave, it means Silencer was able to take away that Aegis. So now they're going to smoke up. I mean, this is just the last desperate move of VirtusPro is 5-man smoke, look for a pick-off, hope it turns into a lot more. I mean, they need a really big team fight here, and it has to start with them stunning up one of these BKB heroes.
Well, they may have one. They may have one right here as S4 in the tree line. Smile follows him in. He's locked him in a corner, which means he can fit him. He didn't stun him first! Which means S4, but he's already used the BKB. He's coming up and picking off NS. They 4-star him away. Now Batrider into the mix-up. He still doesn't have, he can't use last, so he got silence. They 4-star him away, but Drow Ranger has enough DPS. She can get the kill before any kind of rebuttal. While God, Ember Spirit moves up and away. DK can't keep up with him, but then again, he's going to haste her, and of course he can keep up with him. S4's on speed right now, and he'll move up to find Jotum. Any kind of support hero, 4-staff down the hill. Unsart will steal off the Invis rune. So it ends up only being a Batrider for an Ember Spirit. That's a lot better than I thought was going to happen for VP just then. I thought that was a team-wide to a mid-push.
Well, NS just got picked up.
Oh, my bad. I got complacent.
Yeah, well, that's because he should have been away. He went to the side job. Like, he should have been able to just teleport out, but I'm not entirely sure what he was doing. But either way, that's why you don't get greedy. That's why you don't get greedy, especially against a really good team like this. You don't go for the extra Vendetta hit. Just people got to learn that against the top-tier players. Don't go for the extra Vendetta hit because they're going to be able to get off their BKB in time. And because of that, S4 runs, draws a lot of aggro, gets out, and then makes the turn.
Seems to be a rather bit of a problem for Loda. Sticky fingers. Having his item stuck to his mouse button. We should be able to get ourselves back underway once he just a quick disconnect and reconnect back in again. I was really concerned though, man. Like I didn't want to say the worst until I was sure we weren't seeing 5 of them. But when I saw the first 2 early Midas coming out from Alliance, I thought we had Midas Gaming return to us. But luckily it is not the case. It's not the case. Yeah, really with Alliance, they never even need to do it. Like with the full Assault Cuirass over on S4 with the Mana style helm, Alliance knew this game was never going to get to a point where they needed to have like 5 Midas really kicking into this one. They had to fight VP early on and then just carry it into a really good mid-game strength. And they found it perfectly. Like if Loader also, I don't know if he's going to go into a Butterfly, like sell the magic wand and pick up a Butterfly here if he goes straight into the Satanic.
Yeah, that should be his item choice.
Yeah, it could be either of the two. Right now, I don't think it even matters.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I mean, I go Butterfly here for the extra damage off your mana style. On top of that, be able to dodge some of those auto attacks coming out from the Drow Ranger. That's perfect. But yeah, I was kind of concerned as you were. I was fine with the Midas up on Luna. She was free farming. I was fine with the Midas up on Dragonite. He got good enough farm in the middle lane. That's okay because Dragonite, the faster you can get up your level 16, the better you're looking usually. So I was fine with those two. I got a little bit concerned though when Loda started going for that Helma Dominator. You know, that's that second farming item. Instead of going for like a faster drums and gives you a little bit of stats into a BKB a little bit faster, I was really concerned that VirtusPro were going to be able to take advantage of that, push in, and because BKBs were the big turnaround. BKBs were the big turnaround for Alliance. Once they had that, their team fights were ensured. So I was a little bit concerned about Loda delaying that. However, it actually turned out that it got him the BKB pretty quickly because of the fact he was able to stack up those Ancients, and VirtusPro were never able to interrupt that. And that was a huge source of gold.
All right, it seems, while Cap's been talking, I've also been talking to Dailymotion. It seems like they're still having some issues. It seems like they're still having some issues with everything that's going on. So the tech guys are still trying to sort through it. We're not quite sure if we'll have to drop the live stream in the break. But yeah, if you are having lag issues which are just completely beyond your control, hit Control F5. It'll actually change your ingest server. So maybe you are able to find.
Oh dear. Well, Daily Motion have time apparently because Loda disconnected and now Dota 2 is down.
Well, that's problematic. No, if Dota 2 is down, he can't have a connection, which means he can't reconnect back into this game. Well, hopefully he doesn't stay down for too long. Hopefully it doesn't. Yeah, he's trying. He's trying to shut down that Steam, reconnect that Steam up. It's been one of those wonderful times. So
nothing. I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter because Alliance are at a point that they have such overwhelming mid-game team fight.
Yeah.
They just five-man down a lane and take racks.
They could just take control of Loader and put him, but just say, right-click this direction. I'm not really, though, saying...
Yeah, you pop Manta, you control group them, you A-click into the base, and when you see VirtusPro try and do something, anything that they try and do, you just click on Loda, you click BKB and Ultimate, and then you re-click the control group and A-click again. And then everything is dead. Everything is either dead or you've taken a rags and VirtusPro are hiding.
Are we kind of like belittling Loda by saying this?
No, not at all. I mean,
your heroes to a point where if you hit 3 buttons and attack move, you've won the game.
It's to his credit that he was able to farm up so quickly despite the aggression of VirtusPro. I mean, look at him right now. He's 18,000 net worth compared to the 15 on DK and the 13 on Drow Rangers. So, I mean, it's to his credit. He did a really good job, and his team was able to weather through the aggression of VirtusPro to a point where they had their BKBs and they have their big team fight online. And now it's just a slow. Like, the only hope for VirtusPro is they somehow are able to turtle this up, and we see, like, Desolator, Daedalus, Divine on Ember Spirit, and we have Drow Ranger with a butterfly and everything else in the world.
She'll have butterfly done. She'll have satanic done. She'll have a rapier of her own and a Monkey King bar.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have so many items on these VirtusPro heroes, and it's mainly the Ember Spirit's possibility of going into late game where Dragonite begins to fall off is the potential upset that VirtusPro could have, but it's. I said it earlier, like, there's so much good mid-game team fight here coming out from Alliance, and they have decent pushing power as well, that they will be able to end the game. They have 20 minutes, basically. Easily 20 minutes, where they can finish the game.
Yeah.
Hey, we start getting into 55, 65 minutes in, maybe you start worrying a little bit that VirtusPro might be able to make a comeback.
No.
Might. Even at that point, you're facing up against a really strong Luna with a Silencer, Bat Rider, and even Dazzle's pretty good going into late game because of how strong Weave is. These team fights get longer and more drawn out, so Weave is more and more effective. Mm-hmm. They still have a really good late game on Alliance. It's just...
Yeah.
Their power spike is now.
If VP can get to 55 minutes,
they might have a chance.
No. Hear me out on this one. If they can get to 55 minutes, then it means something has gone horribly wrong for Alliance somewhere at the end of the mid game.
Something like a 4v5 because Loda can't get into the game.
Why does this feel like a pub game? He's gone. We have a chance to win, boys. Rally! That's what it's all about. Just find those rats and release them.
Yep.
Just turtle and rat.
Drow Ranger goes from cat lady to rat lady.
It's a horrible way down. I know I was talking to Tiago and Anuxi. We're talking in our conference of the Drow Ranger development crew, which I'm not going to tell you the real name of because it's really inappropriate. It was made by Danny Dem and myself. Of course, it's going to be inappropriate.
Hey, you and Danny Dem together is like...
It's really dangerous. It really is. Like, how often can you get away of being at the Valve International, sitting at a place where people are giving away free items for, like, developer crews, and all these Dota 2 fans are coming past with, like, their mothers and such, and Danny Dem and I are sitting there, and we're designing the Drow Ranger set, and saying how it's all going to look and like how everything's going to work. And then we get sidetracked, and for some reason I ended up talking about Book from The Office here and his ability to actually manage to fit a rogue penis into almost every single graphic he does. If you ever see a John at a graphic, see if you can find him somewhere. He leaves them all over the place.
It's filthy.
But we were there, and we were drawing his Ven sword, and it was like I said to Dane, yeah, he drew his Ven penis sword. And Dane was like, how does that work? It's just like drew it, and then Ryan comes up behind us with the camera, it's like, and it's like, yo, dude, like seriously, we're like,
yep.
So
it's a good picture.
Yeah, good times.
Picture.
Good times. So yeah, we were talking about the fact of like making Drow Ranger not a cat lady, and giving her like a pet dog, just so we could say like Drow Ranger is a dog lady, not a cat lady. Why should she have a dog? Why should she have a cat? Is she really a cat kind of person? Would you imagine Drow Ranger in her old age sitting there in her armchair with a cup of tea and having cats pissing all over the carpet? Would you really imagine that for her?
No, I can
or
imagine
would it be
like
dogs like tearing a hole in the next door neighbor's cat who has been meowing at the window all
that's
bloody
Legion
morning?
Commander. That's
It's
Legion
just like
Commander.
ripping it apart.
No.
Legion Commander would bite the cat itself. Legion Commander wouldn't just get an animal to do that.
Legion Commander would duel the cat.
She's like the
Extra
only
damage.
female strength hero in the game. She'd be there like, I must prove my manliness. Now let me pull a heart out so I can be the next Khaleesi.
I could see Drow Ranger rocking like a panther. That kind of jungle cat,
we thought about that, but the problem is you've already got a panther for Drow Ranger,
Yeah.
and the only other thing you could do is now like change the name of Luna to the Lunar Ranger. So then you can have Drow Ranger train the cat of the Lunar Ranger. And then you have your 3 set of Rangers. So you got your Wind Ranger, your Drow Ranger, and your Lunar Ranger. And together they could have a Ranger convention.
What's with Rangers?
The only problem is
Rangers
then,
and Shadows.
I don't know.
Something about Ice Frog and Rangers and Shadow. Where's Shadow Ranger? That's really what we need.
See, no, that's the problem. The Shadow Ranger can't be involved because technically the Shadow Ranger is actually Mirana because she has Moonlight Shadow. So,
No,
Mirana can't be part of it because you can only have one cat lady per Ranger Club. And already that slot is filled by the Lunar Ranger. So, Nova is that slot.
My point being is that eventually we will see Shadow Ranger because how many different hero names? How many different heroes do we have with Shadow somewhere in their name? We have Shadow Fiend, Shadow Demon, Shadow Shaman.
Yeah.
We have the Stealth Assassin, who's shadowy. We have Phantom Assassin, shadowy.
You're gonna make me bring up my hero.
We have Slark, who has his ultimate, which is
Shadow Dance.
Dark Pact, Shadow
Dance.
Yeah, sorry, Shadow Dance.
You have Spectre, who's basically coated in shadows, like took a bath in a shadow bath.
There's got to be some shadow abilities.
Queen of Pain has Shadow Strike.
Shadow Strike.
Who else have we got? Like Visage is rather shadowy, but he's got like it's more like the souls.
Yeah, you're reaching.
Yeah, I'm reaching a little bit on that.
I want abilities with shadow in the name, or close enough to it.
Trying to think about it. We need like Nahaz for stats. How many shadow abilities are there in the game? He might join us as well for the second game.
Sweet.
Oh, well, I should probably read this one. Sorry, send me a message on the side. I ain't saying that one, Loader. But I'm hoping you're watching the game. Well, I hope you're watching the live stream. I don't know what is that Shadow Walk? Shadow Walk?
Oh yeah.
Or is that the old Warcraft 3 ability though? Because they changed the names.
Windwalk.
There's Skeleton Walk. There's Windwalk used to be like the older, because there's no Windwalk anymore, is there? I don't think anyone's actually got Windwalk.
No, nobody's got Windwalk.
Because that's a Warcraft 3 thing. Because no one's ever walked on wind before.
Yeah, I think we need
apart from the Wind Ranger.
But yeah, there's just like
technically
point being,
she tiptoes.
there's a ton of shadow heroes and shadow abilities, and everybody's a ranger. Everybody's a ranger.
The next one coming, it's Shadow Spirit, the fourth brother. It's like the season of Charmed.
Spirit.
There's like the power of 3, and then all of a sudden, like, why, for example,
would watch Charmed.
Why is one of our 3
You
dead?
would
But
watch
don't worry,
that show.
the power of the 3 will come back again because we have the Rogue Sister. So we're gonna get to a point where Storm Spirit can't be inside the game. He was a clown, then he became a fit guy. He's gonna run off to the circus and then be replaced by the Shadow Spirit. Next level. You heard it here first. Make the change to the lore already. This shit's getting real.
I can't believe you just made that reference. Hey, item, Shadow Amulet. What's up? Shadow
Who
Amulet.
never watched that, man?
No, I
Like,
didn't.
that was
Shadow
along with
Amulet.
sliders, man.
Shadow Amulet and Shadow Blade.
You
I think we have.
You're
like,
now going into items.
I think we have like 9 different shadows: Shadow Shaman, Shadow Demon, Shadow Fiend,
You're actually counting on your hands as well, which is really concerning.
Shadow. There's another hero that was missing. Anyway, Shadow Blade, Shadow Amulet. What was one of my abilities that had Shadow in it? Shadow Strike.
Yeah. Can you count?
at least
Can you
6.
count a phantom? Can you count a
Yeah,
phantom dagger?
yeah, I felt that was kind of reaching, but then you get all the phantoms and whatever else. Shadow Dance. Shadow Dance. There it is.
Oh,
At least
Dazzle is
Shadow Priest.
Shadow
of
Priest.
course.
Shout out to Clemens Walaxa.
Thank you. I knew there was another hero that I wasn't.
Actually,
thinking
his name is Dragon Drops Dota.
Oh, hey, that guy. I linked his. He was doing good work. He's a caster.
Is he?
Yeah, he was doing work. He was casting one of the Join Dota League matches, and I did not have one of my community guys casting it, so I linked him. I listened in. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
Good work.
Go follow him,
Good work,
people.
buddy.
If you don't want to find him, he tweeted out to both capitalists as well as myself. And you can tweet us random stuff right now while we wait. TobiWan Dota is my Twitter and Facebook. If you also want to head yourself over to the D2CL Facebooks and stuff, I know I've linked them multiple times over on my stuff, but it's just the D2C League on over on Twitter, as well as the Dota 2 Champions League. Yeah, I know you found another one. Wait for it. The Dota 2 Champions League over on Facebook. They're giving away extra stuff tonight. They're giving away some Siberia headsets, I believe, some Steel Series headsets, as well as more rares courtesy of Dota 2 Lounge. So definitely head yourself over there. We used to be pimping them on our own stuff, and then we're like, wait, this doesn't make any kind of sense. So now they're pimping them over on D2CL stuff. So yeah, get your rares from over there. So we can stop having people also hounding us on our Twitters and Facebooks for more rares. But yeah, hope you're following in. And what's this item you found, Cap? He asked all knowingly.
Shadows. Ice Frog has a shadow fetish. That's all there is to it. That's it. That's it. 9 different shadow somethings in Dota. And I'm sure there's got to be more. I'm sure there's got to be like a Dota 1 ability that has changed that I'm not thinking of right now.
I just wonder if we have a quick call to Loda and see what's going on. Oh, I wasn't actually expecting Loda to pick up right then. Hi Loda, you're live on stream. How's your match going today, Loda?
It's going quite well, I think, so far. We should be able to take the game if we don't fuck up.
Do you have any messages to Volvo?
To Volvo?
Yeah.
Please fix server. I need login. Please help.
I'm going to ask you the obvious question. Have you tried turning it on and off again?
Yes, I even restarted my PC. That's why I'm out of Steam now.
Okay.
Anyways.
What was your bug, by the way? What happened? Like an item was stuck?
Yeah, it was it's very old bug that I didn't have since like the early beta days, where the item like stuck to your cursor. So I had a BKB on my cursor, so I kind of panicked and thought that I would drop my BKB on the ground and I couldn't get rid of it. So I was like, bug everyone, I need to reconnect, and then I'm
Cap has a theory though for how this can actually end.
Okay.
All you gotta do is tell your teammates to pop mana style and then attack move into the base and hit BKB at some certain point.
If VirtusPro ever do anything, any sort of like offensive reaction, you just pop the BKB, pop the ultimate, and then click again into the base. And I'm pretty sure you guys got it.
I hope so. I hope so. Anyways, I'll go back to my team and do some team talk before the unpause or whatever.
Thanks for taking the call, man.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me.
And we have a 10th Shadow!
What's the 10th Shadow?
Shadow Wave!
Oh, of course.
Shadow! Shadow Priest and Shadow Wave. Damn it. I knew there was something.
I really feel like there needs to be a picture of like all of these shadows combined up together. I don't know if Kunker is currently tuning in from down in Southeast Asia, but or to any artist. Like we had an artist during our Dota 2 Staff Cup. We had a great artist. He made the Pugna support on the back of the. What were you playing? No, you've lost connection to Steam as well.
Oh, are you talking about the Staff Cup? The
the
Slardar Pugna writing on Slardar.
Yeah, because we had like little presses like little Pugna and like behind.
Yeah, basically, our very first game of the day was we're flying around pretty much everywhere, and I wanted somebody to draw a picture that involved Toby Sand King flying around with wings because he had a blink dagger.
That was awesome, by the way.
We had a Bat Rider.
you had like the little Malk riding in the back of the Bat Rider and just going, what the fuck is
I wanted Milk Sniper riding on Bat Rider because we had a Bat Rider flying around, and then Pressed Pugna riding on my carry Slardar. And it was awesome. We got a lot of really cool artwork. People really stuck on the whole Pugna on top of Slardar, though. There was like, I think we got 5 different ones.
Yeah, that was really good.
That picture, but
and that was of such high quality as well.
Yeah, Chaz drew pretty much, I think, in our minds, the best rendition of the Pugna on top of Slardar. It was really, really cool and really, really well stylized too. It was pretty cool stuff.
So why you've got the
showcase view?
Yeah,
time for showcase view.
Why you've got the time? I think we can actually position this where technically Dragon Knight is now attacking Silencer.
Silencer's got the shield up, trying to protect himself from the dragon breath that's incoming.
It's the Silencer. I saw that artwork on Joint Dota. That's not my set. I'm not a blue man. I'm a pink man. I'm a pink man, you know.
Don't you understand? Pink is manly. I'll make it so.
He's the only feminine male in the entire game.
Anybody who says otherwise, silence.
How far can we pull this one back? Oh wow! Look at that. See, that's almost like the blood coming off. See, I'm really happy they finally put perspective mode back in for the commentators, and I hope this is working right now for the people who are watching inside of Dota TV. I almost challenged somebody to take like a quick screenshot, not even a screenshot of this, but to put this in artwork of just like the run up bottom lane, and then just have like a tombstone of Bat Rider on the side where Admiral Bulldog used to be. The blood splattered off the back of the glaive. It's the little things, man. I see what you did.
Cluckles. Oh no, showcase view doesn't work for Cluckles because he's a flying unit.
Oh yeah, it does.
It zooms in on the wrong spot. If you try and get close.
You just gotta find Cluckles' right spot, man. You just gotta find the.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Hello, Cluckles. Look at that. Look at that.
Wait, I actually have an idea. There it is. Haha, I figured it out.
Oh, you're gonna use the tower?
Yeah, use the tower and then zoom back out and a little bit into Cluckles.
I would ask right now, what is currently happening with Jottam? Because it seems Crystal Maiden likes walls.
Just you got Cluckles looking all cool and stuff, and then somewhere in the background, Crystal Maiden, run to tower, run into building.
D's not playing Stolen Intelligence. Whoa. Whoa.
I remember Crystal Maiden did lose that intelligence in the last patch, so it's beginning to show now.
Why? I have aura.
Showcase view the fountain. Nobody ever looks at the fountain. Maybe there's a reason for that.
Because it just makes you think of chocolate fondue. So I don't know if Valve really intended. I'm gonna have to jump by buildings in showcase mode to get myself back there. I don't. Can I do that? I can't click back. Damn it! No, I can't. I broke my camera. No, I didn't. I'm just really used to seeing it from a different way. But when you look at the fountain, like, do you not just think of chocolate fondue?
Yeah, a little bit.
It doesn't make me think of like an intimidating point of a map. Like you say, oh, it's meant to be lava and stuff like that. Sorry, it makes me actually want to throw a marshmallow party and have friends around to my fountain.
I had to do this exact same thing. This is 2 nights in a row.
What a chocolate fountain party? Because then 2 nights in a row, man, you can have horrible
I'm sorry,
there's like chocolate highs which you will receive from this. Also, I apologize to anyone who watches this on YouTube. You'll have to actually put a highlight clip in here and say we re-begin the game at this point, just to save people from the dumbness which is being currently inflicted upon you. Go on.
The last 2 nights, I have had 10, 15-minute pauses where I've had to mess around with showcase view, and I'll just go ahead. Point this out. Have you ever used Phoenix? Well, no, you haven't because you hate that hero.
No, I've actually used Phoenix in the past.
Have you ever used Phoenix to go off the map?
No.
So you know his Sunray?
Yep.
How he could just go forward?
Yep.
He can go off the map.
Boldly going where no man's gone before, but puts on the Captain Kirk yellow shirt and says, find me an alien female. I'm not going to find him here on the map. I'm going to go off the map instead.
Yeah, basically my Phoenix looks like Cluckles. Is pretty much what happened. He's got the goggles. Avenger off. But anyway, you use Sunray, you go off the map.
It's like they kill a chicken that went around the map instead of killing people in a ability draft. Oh god, that was a good clip. I literally had to change my pants after that. It was either that or I just watched the film clip from on the toilet so I could actually pee myself and not feel like an old man.
Anyway,
yeah.
Position yourself in front of the fountain, Sunray into the fountain, move forward with that Sunray. I can't tell you what that ability is called, but you just move forward with Sunray. You do that floaty deal. And you can go off the map. You can go entirely off the map so far that the fountain can't target you. And you actually, if you go up into the corner, you end up going higher and higher up.
Yeah.
And then eventually you reach the cliff, you fall off the cliff, and then you're underneath the map. And then you can actually Icarus dive out and return back to where you've been. Yeah, it's good stuff. So if you are ever a Phoenix, pick up a Ghost Scepter, go into the enemy fountain as you're winning, go off onto the map, and then you showcase view and look at the map from weird perspectives. It's a lot of fun. Or if you're losing and people are attempting to fountain farm you, just give them the finger and go off the map. And then Icarus dive in and throw down some fire spirits.
You know what they call these things?
What
They're called exploits. They're called bugs. And they shouldn't be in the game.
I'm sorry, maybe you shouldn't be fountain farming me. How about that?
Oh, you actually said to do it in an aggressive way before.
Well, I can't kill people when I dive past the fountain and go off the map. I can't kill anybody with it.
What, really? Because it doesn't actually attack directly?
Because I'm so far away that the fountain can't target me. So meaning I can't target them. I can throw down fire spirits and hit you can hit the edge of the fountain right around it and hit fire spirits around there, but you're in the fountain, it's damage over time. You're not gonna die.
Here's a question for you.
Yes.
How can you attack a flying hero and a ground hero with Sunstrike? Because the beam technically should fly in a straight line, which means it can't hit both air and ground at the same time without basically coming up like a V shape, which just goes.
Toby, that's like the joke that remember. I think it was Dota Reporter. They had
really.
They put or maybe this is just another YouTube video, but Sprout around a gyrocopter.
Yeah,
and you look at him and he's flying at the tree, the top of the tree level.
Yeah,
and he's like ah. Or Impale being used on any flying creature.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was in Dota Reporter, wasn't it?
I think that one was in it.
Help us.
We're running out of content.
See, I
Zoom into Crystal Main, please. Put a showcase view into that.
Hang on, what? You just want to
just from the side, it looks. Actually, from this side, it looks stupid.
From this side, it kind of looks like she's now just doing this, in our spring collection today, we are now having Crystal Maiden. It's the wintry spring. Showcasing her hoof. Just that little bit higher up in the rock. Sporting a wonderful null talisman around her neck, and a headpiece that reminds me of an eagle which has been skinned. Obviously, it has to be a winter eagle, because it's Crystal Maiden.
Where's the stash, man? Where's the stash?
What stash? Oh, wait.
The IX Mike, Crystal Maiden?
See,
that one's the
I was
best
never a
one.
massive fan
Gotta
of.
get the stash going
I
on.
wasn't a massive fan of that set actually. It was too much stash. Like IX
Too
Mike
much
though, like you
stash.
don't see IX Mike walking around with like a star shaved into every single bit of his hair.
but
like,
if you actually
it's like,
you can't actually put a mustache on Crystal Maiden, so at least that set was an interesting way to
Yeah,
make it look like a stash.
that was
but
true.
also be part of clothes.
like, I
you know?
could definitely say Danny Dem did a really good job of fitting so many stashes into her clothing. It wasn't funny, but at the same time,
basically channeled his power of penises into mustaches.
into a stash. Yeah. Let's not talk about that while we're talking about IX Mike. Yeah.
I'm too busy looking at Dazzle right now, making his funny facial expressions. That, like, you know, all these heroes are constantly still moving while the
Yeah, because the animations are all done locally. They're not actually done on the server side. Because obviously that would
Yeah.
just be absolutely crazy to do. So what? You're just watching Dazzle
I'm
like
just watching Dazzle like move his mouth around. And he's got this weird like double mouth because his makeup is supposed to look like teeth on the outside, but then he's got his actual teeth.
I would actually like to point out a question to everyone who is watching right now. Tweet any interesting things which you have found in the Dota 2 world that we can actually have a nice look at, a nice talk about. Tweet me at TobiWan Dota or Dota Capitalist.
This looks so fat. Have you ever noticed that? Like, what is that neck bulge?
Dude, he's an iguana. What are you expecting an iguana
fatty
to like
iguana.
travel to a gym and work out?
Yeah, he needs
I'm
to get
sorry.
on the treadmill every once in a while. Jesus.
I've explored this Dota 2 map and I have not once found a gym for couriers.
Well, maybe he should be walking and not flying around on balloons.
He used to be, but everyone upgraded 3 minutes. See, Ice Frog. Ice Frog was all about fitness for couriers. You can't fly until 3 minutes just so they can stretch their legs.
Maybe he needs to extend that a little bit longer. Make it 20 minutes.
But how else would you like pick something up and then fly yourself away? It's like he's just got like his little paws. Actually, how would you even grab something? Like you try and pick a gem off the ground, it's like got to gobble it up like a pelican.
And
It
put it in his neck fat.
Actually, why have we not seen a pelican? Oh, Illidan, don't drop out. Why have we not seen a pelican courier?
That'd be cool. If you
Or-
could
or
put
like- or like a
animations of couriers picking up items.
Yeah.
If you could have that.
Or like a
and you're
si-
like the pelican just kind of like, hump,
And
right into his...
and every time like he picks up something like a gem, you just have like a whole flock of seagulls like come over the top of him. He's like, mine.
Oh, good reference.
Good times, great emails.
All right. Lotus back in Steam, boys.
all right. So Lotus back in the Steam but can't open Dota, while Illidan has just dropped from the game. Let the games begin. We actually had a real good option to bail from this now, Cap. Like, we had a good option like a long time ago where we could have bailed from this, but we've now fully committed to staying here throughout the break. So I'm not going to bail, man.
God.
I'm not
There's
gonna
so
bail.
much shadows that we missed.
How many shadows did
Shout
we-
out to Alexander Rin, Mr. Scare PCR. Shadow Rays. Oh,
know.
Shadow Fiend. I like completely forgot about abilities and just in general. Shadow Walk. There is a Shadow
no.
Walk.
I said Shadow Walk. I said
y-
Shadow Walk.
Yeah, but we couldn't think of what hero it was. Bounty Hunter.
True.
Right? Shadow Word from Warlock. I knew there was a Shadow ability on Warlock, and I just like I was thinking about
point.
his big AOE slow, and I was like, is that Shadow? No, that's not it. And then Shadow Poison, of course, from Shadow Demon.
Fail. Kevin, I'm not bringing up that point.
So it's like what, 13 shadows in the game?
I have a comment from the chat. Unfortunately, we can't have a close look at him right now. But from one of the guys, a guy called Andrew Oliver, who sent me a message, he said Roshan would lift. So I would actually think if there'll be a gym, it would be inside the Roche pit. Because people in Dota don't have a pad, they have a pit.
Wasn't there something on the side here?
This
that
is like...
was- What?
What? Like,
What in the world?
You've
What's inside that cave? Do you see that?
yeah, there's
Blinking eyes?
there's little creatures.
Little creatures inside a cave.
It's like there's only 3 eyes. There's a family in there. Roshan's got captives.
Or the Roche babies.
Free them.
Maybe that's where the
Hang on.
Rochelings are. There are baby Rochelings in there.
Hang on. Okay.
You just slayed the mama, though.
New amazing concept. New amazing concept is starting right here. A baby Roshan comes out when the timer hits.
And he just rapidly goes from baby Roshan to medium Roshan to big Roshan.
Well, he comes out like the ones from like the Grieveling, and it's just like he just finds cheese inside the pit and just goes rum rum nom 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 nom. It's like boom, straight up in the big. It's like cheese make Roshans grow.
I like it.
Yeah. And on the third one, there's like 2 pieces of cheese. He picks one up, puts it in his pocket. And the other one, and he eats the other one.
Nice.
So that way you get cheese on the third Roshan. Genius! Valve, make it happen. There's a little baby. But then again,
ideas are gold right now.
I'm just actually wondering too. The little dot here on the side. I don't know what's on that panel, but for me it looks like a Reddit symbol. I can't zoom in any more than this because I can't use perspective mode.
It's a torch that's hanging from the. So like. It zoomed down.
It looks like a weird Reddit eye kind of thing. No, it doesn't go down any further than that.
Go down any further?
Because it doesn't go down any further.
Okay, there you go. Now you can see it better. You see it? So
painting on a wall and
so that part is the torch part that's sticking out like at an angle.
Oh,
and then there's a chain where it's hanging from.
From my perspective, it was fantastically awesome.
Too bad we can't draw on the screen right now. Warren 3 Libra.
I'm talking about this thing, peoples. I'm talking about this thing right here. And then the baby Roshling's in here.
There you go.
Yeah. See, I can put green boxes on the screen. Limit of my abilities.
Have you ever looked at the Ancients portraits? Like, look at those rumble hides. By the way, did you know they're called rumble hides?
No.
But those blue guys.
Sorry, are these guys like meant to be like king of gas?
What?
Well, why would you be called a rumble hide unless you're actually like thinking about like a
No, they're ready to rock and rumble, man.
With their asses? Sorry. Am I the only person that feels that it's wrong?
Because they're the storm and lightning. They're the lightning and thunder lizards. So instead of thunder and lightning, it's
Thunderhide, Rumblehide.
Thunder and rumble. I don't know.
Wait, that makes no sense.
Now.
Oh, because the thunder.
I believe they were the storm lizards originally.
I hate to say, man, but the thunder is actually the rumble.
Yeah. So
technically, it should be lightning hide, and then thunder hide. If you're gonna have it that way, or you go like.
Maybe they didn't want to have lightning, and I don't know, man.
Elementally, this doesn't work. I'm just saying right now. Like, I wasn't really that great at chemistry, and I can't tell you the entire elements board across the whole thing. And I sucked at geography. Actually, I sucked at most of the sciences. Also failed a little bit in English. But now, even if you fail at school, kids, you can be a commentator. There's a future for everybody in the trades. Loader's back!
Oh,
Yay!
thank God. We were.
Mark your times now, people. You know we're going to get like 3 minutes for the game?
Hey, Toby. Toby, you could say that we were running out of steam. Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. You get it? Because steam is down.
God.
And we're running out of steam.
God.
Thank God the game's going
that
again.
joke was effective as a priest. Who drives a priest? Oh, wait, we know now, don't we, after that stuff?
A Prius?
A Prius.
Prius?
We call it Prius. It's a Prius. It's a Prius. Who would drive a Prius?
Anyway, thank goodness he's back, because we can. Where were we? That's right.
We were back
in the base.
We were back at the tier 2 towers, going down is where we were, man. So now the halftime show is finished. No wardrobe malfunctions were included in the broadcasting of that. We are back here for the Super Bowl because we have taken so long. We're already gone the whole year round.
So Chrysalis was picked up by the Drow Ranger. We had Alliance where I thought they were just going to like 5-man into the enemy base. but apparently they want to farm up a little bit more. I mean, I guess you got S4.
You got to get back into the rhythm, man. You got to get back into the rhythm. You've just had Loda sitting there like bashing his computer, and the rest of the team just sitting there going, well, I don't know if we can find that many things on the map to discover, which obviously we proved wrong. So yeah, right now I think it's just them getting their footing back up again. Loda almost has a full butterfly. Butterfly will be his choice, not the Satanic, by the way.
That's right. I forgot Luna had like Loda had a ton of gold when he left. So
the BKB is also flying in for Admiral Bullock, and they just used Weave. They're going high ground before the Bat Rider. Actually, no, Bat Rider moved back to pick up the BKB, so he's actually not here with the rest of his team. But once this tier 3 tower goes down, the Glades will just start to bounce. See the damage from Ember Spirit? It's nothing. And now the BKB goes. Smile. Spine Carapace will not protect you from this one. Bat Rider's Blink BKB with the global silence. Illidan will go down. And GG is the call.
Click the base. Yeah.
Dire's bottom barracks.
What a great pause, guys. At least we got a good climactic finish
Yeah.
Alliance
for that
victory.
20-minute pause.
I would like to say I hope everyone enjoyed game number 1. We'll be back here after this short commercial break for game number 2 of Alliance vs VP. Remember to follow your entertaining casters over on Twitter and Facebook, Dota Capitalist and TobiWan Dota. Go to the D2C League as well on Twitter and the Dota 2 Champions League on Facebook to win those free rares, headsets. Get yourself something nice. Something that you know your mother or your girlfriend won't let you buy. Go get it now. Thanks for watching. We'll be back here for game number 2 of this best of 5. It is the quarterfinals for the single elimination playoff of the D2CL. We'll be back. We'll be back.